Okay, this is a Diamond Doomfist VOD review. We're going to be breaking down a lot of his mistakes and different things that he could do in his games to actually have a higher impact. So, yeah, we're going to jump right in. Second take, we got this, chat. We got this, chat. Okay. Nothing to see here. Okay, yeah. So this... I guess before we even start in here, some things about Doomfist in particular. So I would say, like, there are kind of two styles of Doomfist. There's really like two big styles of Doomfist. There's the style that is like a more space creation, or I would say like a brawl. I would say brawl might be the right word. But basically what you're doing is you're constantly like up against characters like Ryan, you're punching them back. They push in, you punch them back. Characters that come in, you keep this distance. And you're just like, you're basically just moving around the enemy team and being annoying as hell. That's mainly what you're doing. And you do this against compositions that don't threaten you that much. So compositions that can't kill you out of nowhere. Compositions that can't kill you out of nowhere with like a Roadhog, you have to play fundamentally different. You play, instead of for a space and brawl, just to generate value that way, you instead try to build up charge punches and go for pickoffs. So this is like a more pick-oriented composition, like pick. And the reason that these are different is because you can't play the spacey brawl type of Doomfist up against a character like Roadhog, right? Because you're playing on the front line, you're booping people back, you're doing all this stuff, you get hooked, you get killed. Boom, you're dead. But if you're really deliberate with building up that charge punch, going into their back line, punching people into the wall, getting kills, then it doesn't really matter what else happens there because you're going in really hard and you're getting a ton of value right away. So it's different. It's a different type of playstyle here. Against compositions like the Sigma, it's kind of a little bit of a cross between the two. I would say that you could do a lot of space and brawl, but then ultimately you are still trying to go for pickoffs. But you don't really have anything that's going to kill you out of nowhere, so it's not really that big of a deal. Okay. Okay. So I was just about to tell you that you can't afford to not get your charge punch. Like, every single time you use power block, you need to get charge punch. And you shouldn't have got charge punch here because you used it in a terrible situation. You used it in a terrible situation, right? Who's Coach VOD reviewing right now? This is a Diamond Doomfist. This is a terrible situation. You're not putting any pressure. You're not baiting. You're not baiting engagement. The opponents aren't spamming damage. But you know what? The enemies still, mainly this freaking Genji and Kiriko, they still give you a goddamn charge punch. Why? Why do they give you it? I don't know. Don't give Doomfist charge punches. Chat, don't give Doomfist charge punches. You know why you don't give Doomfist a charge punch? Because not only does he do more damage, but if you punch this Genji, it's gonna hit this Sojourn as well. It's gonna hit everybody. A charge punch allows you to chain punch an entire group. When you get those punches that like feel like they hit your entire team, that's a charge punch. And you're so much more effective with the charge punch. That's how you get pickoffs on Doom. That's how you kill people on Doom. And most of the time, if there's a Doom rolling your team, getting pickoffs, getting kills, is because your team keep feeding him charge punches. So, like, already, the opponent's fucked up, and they gave you charge punch here. So, they messed up. You could probably get a pickoff here. So, let's see what you do with it. Okay. So, that's a bad use of your charge punch. Why do you think that this isn't a good use of your charge punch? You said, is it not okay to do it on an engage like this? You're talking about with your block? So typically with block, you want to be applying more pressure. So like pushing forward, dealing damage, taking space, challenging your opponent a little bit more. There's ways to like use your abilities to generate that charge. So like a great thing that you can do is like you can charge up a punch towards your opponents, and then you cancel the punch into a block. So like the reason that you do that is because they think you're just gonna charge into them, so they're just like all pumping damage into you. You cancel into a block, you get that thing, then you just back off, you have charge punch, then you go in and kill people. Like that's like one example. But it's all about like generating that pressure. It's if you're too passive and back and using it like very lazily, most of the time disciplined opponents will not shoot you. You could have gotten a pick, 100%. You could have gotten a pick, or you could have created a lot of space here, or baited out a ton of cooldowns. But punching the Sigma doesn't do any of those things. This Sigma doesn't. But there are characters that do. So punching this Genji slamming here and punching this this Sojourn and Kiriko. You know, there are ways to generate actual pick potential, and punching this tank doesn't generate that. It's not going to bait out any cooldowns. It's not going to bait out Suzu. It's not going to do pretty much anything here. So when you have that charge punch is not easy to get. You got it by pure luck. So you have to be really, really intentful with how you use it. I would even say, like, you could even, like, fly over here with your E and punch this Ana and go fight this Ana. And the entire enemy team are going to peel for you. But if you kill this Ana, then you can, you know, jump over here. You get your cooldown back. You run away. That's an example of something you could do. Like, charge punch, you got to think about it like, when you get charge punch, then you're like, okay, I need to get big value with this punch. And that could be in the form of punching like 4 people into a wall. It could be in the form of punching 1 person in the wall and killing them. It could be in the form of baiting out a shit ton of cooldowns and you don't die. But just punching a tank isn't going to generate the value that you want. Now, if it's a Reinhardt, right? Reinhardt on the front line with like 2 people behind him and you punch him and you get a whole bunch of value, sure. Sometimes just distancing a Reinhardt is perfectly fine. But the thing is, like, this Sigma doesn't even want to play on top of you. Like, he wants to play from range. So, like, you punching him away doesn't actually give him, like, it doesn't hurt him in any way. Like, he wants to play this far away. So yeah. So just the fact that you wasted your charge punch here, it's a really big deal. You're probably not going to be able to have a good impact over the rest of this fight unless you build up another one. Somehow they give you it again. Yeah, they give you it again. Okay. I like how you saved it here. You just wait. You get healed up. Okay, once again, we just punched this Sigma. We just punched this Sigma. Now, this punch did get out Kinetic Grasp. But, like, instead, let's back this up a few frames. Let's back this up a few frames and talk about what you could have done instead to get more value here. So instead of this, wait for your cooldowns, your block and your E. E this way and go at these characters or this Ana. Watch what your Tracer does here in this fight right here. You know, look at where the opponents are grouped right here. You punch them, you could punch them all into the wall. You and Ana could kill, or you and Tracer could kill all 3 of these people. Like, this is the target. I'm always scared because I'm expecting to get 1v5. So, it's okay to go into the back line under a couple situations. You have your block to protect yourself. Or you get, you get value out of your slam. So, like, you're going to have to use your E to fly over here and then your punch to hit them. But the thing is, you're doing so much. You're doing a ton of damage. You're baiting out a ton of cooldowns. You're getting them low. It's just like diving in with any other dive tank, like a Winston or anything like that. Now, of course, you have to hit it, right? If you use both your cooldowns here and then you miss your whiff, your punch, whatever, it's really bad. But after you slam these people in the wall, I want you to deal damage to them and push yourself this way, because as long as you can turn around and block, you can block and protect yourself in time so that you get your cooldowns back and then you can dip away. You can dip to this high ground, you can go reset, stay here for a bit, get your cooldowns back, go reset, go to the health pack, you're chilling. Yeah. Not to mention when you go and remember that when you hit people with your slam, you hit 3 people with your slam, you're gonna get a whole bunch of shields. You get shields every time you hit people with slam. So you slam in here, you get a ton of shields, you punch them, you get more shields, and you bait out a ton of cooldowns, and you get them weak, and your Tracer follows up. So yeah. Yep. Because, like, effectively, the only thing you've done in that whole fight, right, is all you did was, like, deal, like, a tiny bit of damage to the Sigma and bait out a Kinetic Grasp. That's, like, all you did. And nothing else, really. That's basically effectively all you did. What's up, Laser Mommy? So, like, something else I want to see you do more is, like, not necessarily when they're here, but when your opponents are here, you Yo, can you review my gameplay? Yeah. We do marbles to win a VOD. We're gonna do another one in a bit. You have to win marbles. But so like, let's say your entire let me have you back up here. Let's back up for a second. Let's say that your entire team is grouped up right here. The entire enemy team is grouped up right here, right? What you can do as Doom is you can E here and E that way. So you're hitting like 3, 4, 5 people with your E. You're generating a ton of shields. And then you can punch back to your team. So you went in, you generated a ton, you created space, you generated a ton of shields, you're safe back with your team, and you're not actually at risk. And, you know, even better what you can do is if you have charge punch, you could go E here, you know, you E here, you hit a whole bunch of members of the enemy team, and then you could say, hey, there's 3, 4, 5 people lined up, I can punch them, and punch all of them into the wall, and I'm not gonna die. Or I could punch them into the wall, and then I can start to back up with block. Guess what's going to happen when I back up with block? You're going to get another power punch. And by the time you back up to your team and get healed, you have your E again. So you already punched the first time with power block, punch them into the wall, they use Suzu, they use heal, they use all these resources. Now you go back and slam them again, and you have your punch, so you punch them again, and you kill the entire enemy team. That's some of the cycles that you can do on Doomfist, that you can abuse on Doomfist. So, like, this is... It's kind of like pushing the bounds of what you can get away with, and you need to realize that, like, there's nothing on the enemy team that you are really scared of besides, like, maybe an honest sleep. But oftentimes, when the enemies are all grouped up like this, and you slam in like here, or you could even slam in like a little bit safer right here, and then the second you slam, you can decide to either punch in with block, or punch backwards, or back up. There's a ton of different things you could do here, and create pressure. Yeah. I just joined Who Is Getting Coached. So right now it's Crank getting coached, and he is a Diamond Doomfist player. Ooh, this is awkward. So yeah, this is an awkward engage. Like, I see what you were going for here after you got slept. So let's back this up a little bit. I see what you were going for here. But realize, like, when you woke up, you had your punch and you had your shift. You could have easily just shifted back to your team. Like, you didn't have to go in here. You didn't have to make this play at all. But what you did is you used both your cooldowns here. When you already were slept, you're already antied, you're already down a person. So you're kind of all committing. You're, like, full committing here. And this is, honestly, like... when they were all on point together here, that's a much easier fight than this. This is so awkward. You also have to think of the terrain when you're fighting on Doomfist. Like, you're kind of all committing here when this is just like, this is just really awkward. And like, yeah, like if you hit the punch there, then maybe things work out for you. But really, I would only go for an aggressive play like this if I had ultimate. Like, that's the only time that I think that a play like this all-in type of play is acceptable. Ignore you, how dare you? I found a cheat code to win marbles. What's your cheat code, brother? Yeah. Okay. I know we went over a ton in like the first like fucking 5 minutes, but there's a lot on Doomfist. There's a lot of ways to get impact in every stage of the fight. Oh, whoa. Hey, stop. So, like, right here, because you had block, why not use block to get a punch first before you go in this aggressive? Right? Yeah, like I understand the concept here, but, like, I would only ever punch a target if it's like a guaranteed hit, someone right in front of me. And honestly, this guy in your backline, this Genji, is a much easier kill for you than this Sojourn in the enemy team. Like, he's an easier target, much easier for you to kill. In fact, I farmed the shit out of Genji's on Doom because you can cancel his deflect, you can cancel his dives, you can mess up his freaking blades. That's a great one, is to punch his blade and then and then he has no target. Fantastic. But yeah, here, like, it would be far better, even if your team wasn't alive, even if there was no one in your backline, it would have been far better for you to try to generate your charge punch before you go for an aggressive play. First off. Like, it's okay to expand. It's okay to waste time. It's okay to use resources as long as you get that charge punch, because you can always just save it and then use it when you need it. So, yeah. I feel like this is a little bit of frustration bubbling up from the previous fights. A little bit of frustration. Like, this fight, you're just gonna 100% lose. The opponent have, like, 10,000 ultimates. Oh, no. No, 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 no. Okay, well, why was this a mistake? Why was this a mistake, Marvin? You used your charge punch. You used your charge punch when you didn't need to. That's why this is a mistake. Because you want your charge punch. Remember, we talked about, I know you've been getting charge punch super simply here, but you just, remember, when you use punch to retreat, you still use your charge punch here. So now, like here, not only could you have probably punched this corner and insta-killed the Doom and maybe killed a whole bunch of people, like you're full HP with all your other abilities, but, or like you're about to get your other abilities, it's like 2 seconds off. So like, I think like punching here would have been insane. Like you would have just got a whole bunch of kills. But you could have just backed up this way. They're not going to chase you this way. They can't chase you this way. And if they do chase you this way, then your team's going to kill them. And if not, you can always just get your E back and go back into spawn. So like, that's a thing that you need to kind of consider on Doom is oftentimes, if you don't have to, you don't want to use that charge punch to retreat because then you don't have it. But if you have to use it, like if you're going to die, sure. But it's not the easiest to generate that charge punch. And it's fantastic to walk out of spawn with the charge punch already primed, because then you can instantly make a play and kill an enemy. Instantly. Like right here, if you would have even backed up and stayed and backed here, you could back here. Imagine what it would be like if you were right here with charge punch and you just like, okay, Ana fucking nano me. Flies in, she nanos you, you punch the entire enemy team with a charge nano punch. Everyone's dead. Everyone's dead. Yeah. Yeah, like, I understand, like, the thought process here, but I'm just trying to make it clear, like, some of the value that you're really missing out on Doom. And I know that this is the really frustrating part, because this is, like, the disconnect. This is often where players don't know what to do on Doom, because it feels like, a lot of times players on Doom, they get a lot of value just by brawling in, going in with their team, punching in. Typically, their teammates get picks. So it's like, oftentimes as a Doomfist, it's like, how do I generate those picks? But Doomfist can create a ton of fight wins, pick opportunity. The more big punches you get, the more abilities you bait out, the more space you create, you're going to win a ton of fights. And you're going to see it kind of cascade. So like, I'm just trying to show you as many ways as possible to generate that advantage on Doom. Nice. I'm glad that you canceled that. That's good. Yeah, and I actually like this engage because guess what they don't have here? They don't have Suzu. Oh fuck! They don't have Suzu. So they're forced. They're basically, if you just punch this Doom or punch them right here, you're gonna get a shit ton of damage and probably even potentially a kill. So like, it would have been a little bit better if you slammed onto them, but oh, you actually are. So like right here, I understand that you're a little bit afraid of this charge, but like realize that when she and her entire team gets punched and stunned, charge is not easy for her to kill your teammates with. You're also rushing. So like the second you slam here and punch in, you probably kill the entire enemy team here. They have no Suzu. Remember the Kiriko used it when you were pushing forward. So they don't really have a way to stop you here. Not to mention you have ultimate. So like, you slam in, you punch them, you pop ultimate, you ult on them, and you literally win this entire fight by yourself. I mean, like, your team is ulting in, but like, you really win the fight by yourself. You don't even need anybody. I heard that there will be a 24-hour stream. Is that true? There will be a 24-hour stream in the future. I don't know exactly what's the perfect day. Yeah, you should have went in there for sure. Wait, what the hell happened? What the hell happened? What the hell happened? Did you DC? No, this is the worst time to DC. No, dude. God. But yeah, like, I think that we went over like a lot of the really key things. I know that we've only went into 3 minutes into this video, but I've already seen like, we've already pointed out probably like 7, 8 different things that you could have done to actually generate that impact. You know, building up these charge punches, trying to go for the high, you know, the high chain punches in the backline, setting yourself up to hit giant E's that get you charged, setting yourself up to slam the enemy into obstructions and bait out all these cooldowns. There's a ton of things that I think you could have done, you know, a lot better here to actually carry a ton of these fights, especially with the opponents basically feeding you these charge punches and like trying to get value out of every single charge punch. Like, every charge punch is like a gift. You need to think of like, every time you get a charge punch, you need to think, okay, what can I do with this? This is something that enables me to make a play. What is the play that I should go for? What is the play that I should make? That's how you go into every single fight. So yeah. I think that is pretty much everything about this VOD.